Everybody knows that whenever the Lord popped these big eyes open, I'm all right. I'm ready to roll. And as my young folks is teaching me, I'm ready to turn it up. And I'm turning it up, Pastor, because it's such a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm so excited with my special guest today. Boy, oh boy, coming up as a little girl, they used to teach us, be careful what you do or say because you don't know who knows who. And when I put the announcement out on Facebook for Coach Andre, I got very popular, Pastor. I was getting texts and phone calls about Coach Andre. I didn't know you knew him. Yeah, okay. When he this and he that, spoke very highly of his queen, which I love that after being married 47 years. We're going to honor the kings and the queens in our lives. So I'm excited. I have Coach Andre here today with his queen and Brother Ike here today. And we're going to talk about the safety of swimming. They have educated me that the statistics and our children drowning with swimming is extremely high. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Brother Andre. And Brother Andre, I would like for you to tell your story that led us up until today. And most of all, don't forget to talk about the, what is this, cartoon?
Yes.
Yeah, don't forget to talk about the cartoon. So it's in your lap, Brother Andre. Turn it up, my brother.
All right. Thank you very much, Lady Gilmore. I appreciate you for having me on your show. Much gratitude to you.
Peace.
And so my story begins, I learned how to swim like a lot of folks at the YMCA. Years ago, I believe I was around somewhere 8, 9 years old.
Okay.
And that was my first introduction. My mother was very instrumental. She was the one who prompted us to get lessons initially.
Praise God.
My mother didn't know how to swim, though.
Okay.
My father, that's where I got my genetics from swimming. But he had some traumatic stories from his past, which took him out of swimming. Racism.
Of course.
Back in those times. So, but my mother was instrumental. She made sure that we learned that skill, and both my parents supported us coming up.
Praise God.
Went from the YMCA, we took lessons at Cleveland State University. They put us in a summer program. Then we also went to university school, had a summer program, which we swam AAU. So I actually got to compete at that young age as well.
Praise God.
I always had a passion for swimming. You know, my parents and my grandfather, they would always take us out to the Lake Erie. We would go up to Presque Isle, things like that. So I always had a love for the water.
Okay.
Coming up, I would teach some of my cousins how to swim. So I always had a passion for it. So once I learned the skill, I would just pass the knowledge of what I learned to my peers.
Praise God.
And so, fast forward, coming up into this time, I always would get certifications. I was a lifeguard. So I was always around water, always around children and protecting them in the water. That's water safety. So then fast forward up to a little bit more recently, I started working at the college, and this is where I met my wife. Okay, and I was just a lifeguard. I would say I was on a hamster wheel at that time. I was just working. Wasn't making no real forward progress, but just working. And when I ran into Kim, one day I was on the pool deck, and she asked me can you teach me how to swim? And she said she was going on a trip to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And with some family. So I got myself up out of my lifeguard chair. And
I know you did.
I said,
look what God did send me. It's time to move.
And I didn't even know it at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, I recognize it now. And so I taught her how to swim, and then she went on and she came back from Puerto Rico and had this great story and had folks clapping for her on the beach because she swam out to the buoy.
You know how we take over now, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was still lifeguarding. I would help people like I helped her. And then she saw something in me that I did not see in myself.
See.
And she said, you need to take what you're doing more serious to another level and think about making it your business. And it took a a long time for me to get there mentally.
Yes.
But I got there.
There you
Praise
go.
God.
I got there, and now we're at the point where we are now, where we are saving lives, right? We are
Praise
helping
God.
people get over their fear of the water and teaching the skill of swimming, which is a skill that once you learn it, you have it for a lifetime. And
I do.
yes, you do. It's still in there.
So I can get back in the water.
There you
I was
go.
a lifeguard coming up, so I can jump in the water and start swimming, brother.
Well, you may want to start in the shallow for sure.
Okay. I don't want to be fighting for my life.
Right.
And look, Brother Andre, I be
Yeah.
saying, Brother Andre, son told me just get in the water. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So but that's where we're at now. Promoting water safety, starting in the shallow water first.
Yeah,
Right?
shallow. Gotcha.
Get that muscle memory to kick back in.
That's what's going to take. Thank you. Shallow water. Oh, what a blessing. How long have you and daughter been married?
Since 2016.
She said married.
Not together. Oh, we just got married.
We just got
2018, August 19th,
There you go.
Ooh.
2018. So we're coming up on our year anniversary
Okay.
in August. Yes.
Congratulations. Now, that's a good day.
Yeah.
August 19th was my first grandson born, the one that's 24.
Wow.
Yes, and I told you he wanted me to take some notes. So I will share with him how blessed this birthday is.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is so sweet. But look what happened, though. Your man wasn't on coordinate that time. But the Lord sent that queen through that sachet. Now, you know, we know how to do it now. You looked at him like, yeah, let me go over and tell him. I don't know how to swim. I'm going to Puerto Rico,
Right.
and I want to swim. I bet you dived off. Did you dive off the board, brother?
Nope. Not at all.
What did he do, Donna?
So it was really, I asked him to teach me how to tread water.
Okay.
And so, because I saw him swimming.
Okay.
And I asked the other lifeguard, I said, what is he training for? And she said, no, that's how he swims. That's just what he does. I said, nobody swims like that for fun. I said, he's training for the Olympics or something, especially nobody black. And so then I finally got up the nerve to ask him to teach me how to tread, because I figured he would not let me drown if he could swim like that.
All right.
And so he did. And honestly, in the beginning, it was just friendship. There was no interest either way.
Wow.
And we did not see each other like that at all.
Wow.
It was truly friendship. And he taught me to, after the treading, I said, okay, I'm going to Puerto Rico. I need to be able to swim. I want to take this to the next level.
That's us.
And I'm like, okay, I can do this. And so I was working every day really hard. But I was pushing it a little faster than I was ready to push it. And that's when he said, you jump in feet first, don't you? And I said, yeah. And he said, if you do that in this water, you're going to drown.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that was the first time I had been checked like that. And I said, okay, I'm going to listen in this water. Now, when I get out, I might be talking again.
No, that's step by step.
Exactly. So then from there, like he said, I went to Puerto Rico with my cousins, and I was able to swim to the buoy. The whole beach was clapping. I couldn't believe it. And then after that, when I came back, I said, I've tried to swim all through high school. High school, they passed me just because I got in the water. And then I tried in college. I said, so if you can teach me how to swim, you can teach anybody how to swim. And that's when he was just doing it for free. He was just helping people if you ask for help. And I said, no, you got to turn this into a business. And so 4 long years of fighting. He told me don't fight the water, but he fought the water.
Was he fighting the water?
Oh, he fought the process. But after that, we finally got to where we needed to be for the business aspect now.
What a blessing. What a
Yeah.
blessing. And it makes a marriage more wonderful when we both on the same page.
Exactly.
Like in my marriage of 47 years, I'm the social butterfly, and my husband is the house person. He doesn't like coming to events. He doesn't like anything like this.
Okay.
But he's always tinkering with something, and thank you, Lord, because it's been saving us a lot of money. Because he know how to do so many things. So leading up until today, I see we have Brother Ike here.
Yes.
So what
Yes.
role does Brother Ike play?
Brother Ike, we've been knowing each other at least for about 3 years, maybe 4
Correct.
now.
Yes.
And he started in one of my beginner swimming classes.
That's great.
He
Right.
moved on to intermediate.
Okay.
And then now he's in the advanced level, rhythm and stroke. And one of the things I appreciate about Ike so much, which I always tell my students, you have to practice. A lot of people, they're always going to learn a lot when they come to my classes based on the way I instruct, quality instruction, but a lot of people don't also practice. Ike, and we have conversation, Ike practices, and that's why he's been able to make such strides and improvements in his swimming. And I always tell Ike, I said, man, there's levels to this. I said, functionally you're doing it. I said, but there's going to come a time when you're going to hit this zone, you're going to get in this rhythm, and your swimming experience is going to take on a whole nother feel to you. And he's right at this point starting to get into that now.
Right. Well, Lady Gilmore, let me say, like you, I had to start from the very beginning again. I'm not a spring chicken, I can tell you that. But basically, I learned to swim with my cousin. He taught me how to swim. At least I thought I was swimming. I could hold my breath and go as far as I can, but I figured that's not really swimming. Mm-hmm. And then my girlfriend, who swims excellently, encouraged me. She's like, well, you're not really swimming. So she said, well, why don't you take a class? And I know Coach Andre, and he's real good. And I was like, well, I wasn't sure if I was quite ready, like most people. But then when I got in the class, and the way Andre teaches makes you feel very relaxed, give you a lot of confidence in yourself, and get over the fear. I didn't have any fear of the water, but I knew that I wasn't swimming correctly. So I took Andre's class, and like everybody said, his approach, his teaching style gives you a lot of confidence, make you feel comfortable about getting in the water.
Praise God.
And so I took the beginner's class, and I said, okay, I think I'm ready to move on to the next step. So I went to the intermediate class, and again, Andre is constantly teaching and pushing for you to get better.
Okay.
So I took that class 4 times for me to build up the confidence that I can go to the next level. And once again, I think if it hadn't been for Andre approach and how he teach, and me getting in the pool and practicing, I surely wouldn't be in rhythm and strokes class that I'm in now.
Praise God.
And I continue to practice. That's one thing I always tell Coach Andre. He teaches different skills, and once that class is over, you can rest assured I'm in the pool practicing those skills. So it's a never-ending process, and I'm just going to continue to work on trying to get better. But I think the most important thing is Andre has an approach to make people feel comfortable about being in the water. And that's where it starts. You have to have a comfort level to be in the water. So
that's what my sister told me yesterday when she discovered that Coach Andre and his wife was going to be on my show today. She said that you taught her, what is it called, the fear of water?
Do it afraid.
Do it afraid.
Yeah, she's on here right now.
Yes. And she said how that really helped her. So that is where you began at?
Yeah, that's a program. Again, this is the brainchild of my wife.
Give honor.
Afraid program.
Give honor.
you got to give her credit.
Execute.
Yeah.
But that's something that we fundraise for, so that those lessons are free. We do it for children and adults.
Okay.
But in that case, Miss Victoria, she was in that program. It's not about swimming. It's about getting you in that mental and physical space to feel comfortable, to relieve any anxiety that you have. And I have skills and methods and ways that I do that, connecting to your breathing. Breathing is very important in that process too. Right. I always say you have to make sure that your breathing is connected to the motion of your body. And when all of these things come together in the water, and then we usually get to some form of floating. We may even get past that point, just depends on the group. But at the end, you will be more confident. You'll be ready to take swimming lessons.
Praise God.
Correct.
And that's the key. Do it afraid. And I thank my queen
Amen.
for that.
Amen. And that's really the gist of it. because if you don't get past the fear,
Correct.
you won't be able
That's-
to swim.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
We don't want no casualties. We want elevation, as
Right.
Brother Ike said, the class that he is in now. So what are the youngest ages you take, and what's the oldest, I guess?
Yeah, the youngest is I stick with the industry standard, which is basically 6 months. So I have worked with infants. The infant level is more about infant survival skills, not necessarily swimming.
Okay.
Just if a child or baby, if however it happened, if they found themselves face down in the water, they should be able to roll themselves over to their back. Some children, if they're taught properly, they can lay on there and float and fall asleep until somebody can come and get them.
Wow.
And then some, if they're strong enough, they can actually move themselves, to somebody would have to help them get out. Round 2 or 3, they're a little more stronger. If they got enough strength, they could pull themselves out of a pool. But on an infant level, you just want them to be able to, if they're face down, they got to be able to turn over. If not, they will drown.
Right. Get on their back.
Get on their back. That's right.
Wow.
And so we did some videos. Again, another brainchild of mine.
Amen. That's right. Take it on in, man.
We did baby bath time video. So I got in the bathtub.
Sure did.
We
Yeah.
post them on our YouTube page.
Okay.
And I show you. We were fortunate to work with the mother and the father, and just demonstrating some skills with their babies on what you can do to get them comfortable in the bathtub at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
No
Make it
excuse.
affordable. That eliminates all issues with coming to us if you can't afford the lessons right now.
Right.
As well as some comfort level. You have your baby and you're not really too comfortable taking them to the pool yet,
Right.
but they can float right in that tub just like they can drown right in that tub. So you can teach them those skills at an early age right in the bathtub where you're watching them.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So now we started with 6 months, and
months.
we're at 2 years old now.
2 years old,
Uh-huh.
and then so at that point it's just whatever the level is. A lot of places have mommy and me or daddy and me classes, so I can take a child one-on-one, but a lot of times if the parent gets in the water with them, you teach the parent how to teach their child, because a lot of times initially the child is more comfortable with the parent. So if they're in the water with them, it sometimes makes the process a little bit easier. So depending on the situation, I've had parents in the water, and I just show them the skills, the way to hold the baby or the child. That's very important at that level as well.
Wow. You know what, Brother Ike, what I'm picking up the energy is that this is not just swimming school, swimming lessons. This is heart to heart.
Yes. Yes. It
Heart
is.
to heart, because listening to both of them and you saying how you just pour your whole self into this. Teaching swimming, because swimming is very important. You know how babies, they love to get in the tub and play and all of that, and the list just goes on and on. So in doing all of this, the Lord has blessed. Whose child is this? Who birthed this? Tell me, Brother Andre.
My queen.
Gets all the credit.
Gets all the credit.
Amen, amen.
She gets all the credit. And the animation, so yes, we want to show portrayals and representation of people that look like us, right? People of
Amen.
color
Yes. Yeah.
engaged in this activity. And so animation is one of the ways that we are attempting to do that, to put that out there. So we come up with some different characters to utilize,
And this is the first time
go
we're
ahead.
releasing this right here on your show.
Yes, this is the first.
Yeah, no one. We just told our parents
You had the
recently,
exclusive.
so you have the
right.
exclusive.
Oh.
No one has seen these characters yet.
Oh, look at God.
There's 3
There you
main
go.
characters. The first character is Splash. He's the main character. He's the main superhero. And,
Okay.
the stories will come out soon. You'll hear more about Splash and what he's all about.
Oh.
The character towards the bottom, the female character, her name is Supernatural. And one thing Supernatural does not mind is getting her hair wet. Okay. So we are totally eliminating that stigma and
Amen.
that drama
That's right.
There you go.
about getting your hair wet. We're going to get your hair wet. And then the third one is Typhoon. Typhoon is the godfather of the water, so to speak. And he's the protector of the water. So Those are our 3 characters that we are just releasing right now.
Oh my
right.
goodness, I'm excited. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Very
Thank you,
nice.
Lord. He
Yeah.
will have favor. And it says he will open up doors, brother Ike,
That's right.
that you won't have room for. Oh my goodness. Thank you both. You have to come back once it.
Yeah. We have our coloring book right now, activity book that we have out there. We just
Okay.
released that yesterday. And then soon on our online, you'll be able to read it, have the kids read, and then we'll have the actual animation by late summer, early fall at the very, very latest. And we'll have merchandise, we'll have swimsuits, we'll have goggles, we'll have book bags, all with characters who have these items for the kids who can pick up someone who looks like them. And so it's no longer a stigma that black folks don't swim.
There you
We
go.
swim, and we swim very well.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yes, we do.
Swim like
Right.
me is our logo, one of our slogans. Swim like me. So
Swim
swim just like me.
Right.
That's awesome. We were talking about swimming in the green room earlier, and the swimming pool that I used to lifeguard at on the 100th Cedar Gasaway is still there. Every now and then when I get homesick, I go back. And Brother Ike was saying that you were there.
I worked at Gasaway. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, when you first came into the pool, first thing they make you do is you have to take a shower.
That's right.
And then you walk this like a little bath
Yes,
that you
sir.
have to put your feet in. And you have someone stand there and check your toes to make sure. Well, that was me.
Wow.
That was me. Before you could get into the
Before
pool.
we got into the pool.
That's right.
And I mean
That's right.
steady, right,
Oh,
brother?
yeah. Hey, you couldn't get in unless you did those things.
That's right.
Wow.
That's just the way
Yeah.
it was back then. Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's cool.
and remembering how at home, because we lived up the street, Mama would make us take a bath before we was swimming, and then we get up to Gasaway and we got to take a bath again.
There you go.
Shower and everything, and they
That's
were
right.
very protective of the athletic.
Yes, yeah, athletic foot disease that you could get.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so that's
I mean,
why.
they actually checked our toes.
Oh yeah, yes. I mean,
you don't have-
Make
person
sure.
right. Person sat at the booth, and you had to put your feet up, and they check your toes to make sure.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Do they do anything like that now, brother Andre?
No, they don't do that. I think they just
Assumed everybody got it now.
Yeah, we broke the mold, brother. Okay, yeah, they
Yes,
kind
we
of like
did.
figured. Number 25, come on.
they just pump up the chlorine, I guess nowadays.
There you go. Kill everything,
Yeah,
right?
Everything, right.
oh, but it's such a blessing to be able to talk about swimming with joy.
Yes, yes.
Because so many of our children, daughter told me that in the green room was a couple
13,
weeks.
yeah, 13-year-old boy on his own birthday drowned
Yeah.
a few months ago.
We put out a video. I did a video on hotel safety. Things you should look out for, and adults need to know when you go to hotel pool parties. A lot of people have them. Doesn't matter. Culturally, all groups do this. Right.
Right.
But there's too many instances, especially with our black folks, drowning unnecessarily. And there's some safety tools around. I spoke in the video about there's ring buoys, there are poles, there are certain things that facilities have to have because there's no lifeguard.
Correct.
So if any of these tools are around and somebody's in trouble, you can grab onto them, put them out in the water, and to help save somebody. But if a person doesn't know that, they just, oh yeah, we going to the pool party. They're not even thinking about the safety aspect of it. These things happen, and also some adult has to be there to supervise these children. A lot of times they're left unsupervised.
Correct.
And it does happen.
An
Or
adult who can't swim.
or an adult, or a lot of adults
Right.
don't know how to swim.
That's correct.
And you're supervising children. If you don't know how to swim, so your knowledge of water safety isn't there either. So in a situation, you may panic, freeze up. And I've been in situations as a lifeguard where other lifeguards have froze up when a person is drowning.
Wow.
And they have the knowledge. So a person who doesn't have the knowledge,
Correct.
I can easily see how they would,
And it's your baby.
and it's your baby.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So that's so important.
I'm glad we're speaking about these hotel birthday parties. Me personally, I hate them. I've taken my grandchildren. We are sitting on the steps. You know them little steps you walk down? That's where we are. Especially when I look around, I didn't see a lifeguard.
Right.
Right.
And
Correct.
parents are coming, just dropping their
them off.
children
There you
off.
go. That's right.
Can you watch them till I come back? I said, no, my sister, I got 4 grandchildren here. I got to keep my eyes on them. And it's the hotel safety. And I think I read somewhere the statistics with our children is drowning at the hotel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unsupervised.
Yes,
That's
correct.
right.
It's
correct.
scary, and I'm really glad the hotels need to be looking you up, expanding your business. Do you have a building right now?
No, that's our.
That's what we're
Brick-
fundraising.
We're gonna
and
speak
mortar
this
is
into
what-
life.
Yeah, we
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
speak life on
Okay,
that.
we speaking this
There you
into
go.
life
Yes.
that
Yes.
our brother Andre and daughter Kim and brother Ike, I got a feeling he gonna be there with you.
That's right.
Oh,
We need a building,
Yes.
your
Yeah.
own building, and this would be another tool that the Lord has given you.
Yes.
Education on swimming. They can come to your building and help pay for it, and we charge them free fees.
That's right.
Now we want to make it clear. We can't do what Cousin Bobo used to do. Okay? We have to pay for these buildings.
That's right.
That's right.
And we want to, again, like I say, speak it into life and teach the proper way.
Yes.
That's
It's
right.
nothing like
Right.
learning the proper way. Just like you and I said, Brother Ike, the way we came up, they don't do that anymore.
Not anymore.
But and so we advancing with technology. So let's give out our information. We got about 3 minutes left. Let's give out the information. We do want them to get in contact with you.
Okay. www.rhythmandstroke.com is our website. We post, you can see a lot of our clientele, all of our programming that we offer is on that website. We also have a Facebook page, Rhythm and Stroke LLC at Facebook, and then also Instagram. And on Instagram and Facebook, more so Instagram, I have over 1,000 posts of
Wow.
folks that look like us,
Right.
learning how to swim. Some giving testimonials, but a lot of us engage in that activity of learning how to swim. So that's how I do. I pretty much post every day. So
Okay.
that this is a movement that we are
Yes.
that
There
we're
There you
in.
go. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm so glad because we do a lot of fundraisers ourselves. And I'm going to have to talk with you and the Queen later. We getting ready to do a skating party Saturday at United Skates, I think it's called. 6 to 9. Just text me and I'll give you the correct information. But it would be so nice to have a booth set up there with the swimming, the importance of swimming. So we'll talk about that later. But we want everybody to support WIN Ministries. We're doing a WIN Campaign 500. And our goal is to purchase another building. Here we come with the buildings. We want to purchase a house, a 12-bedroom house, to house our sisters and their children that's running away from domestic violence, put them in a safe haven, and some of them that's homeless, giving them a second chance. So this is what our fundraisers is all about, and I'm quite sure, like I said, we can do it again. But I'm excited, so glad you all were here today. Oh my goodness, and to be part of, oh my gosh, I'm just loving it. Oh, I'm
There
loving
you go.
this to be a part and to teach all our babies the safety of swimming. Thank you so very much. You all will come back. Believe me, you will be back
you.
to continue this education. And as always, I'm your host, Lady Gilmore, Queen on the Scene. I love everybody. Peace.
Peace.